So as we have discussed in the last class, the basic concept of graph based protocol. So we will quickly revise, then we'll move forward to have a look on tree protocol, right? So the two-phase locking protocol, that is growing and shrinking phases, is both necessary and sufficient for ensuring serializability in the absence of information concerning the manner in which data items are accessed. So you have already seen, means in two-phase locking protocol where we use growing and shrinking phase, we only apply lock in the growing phase, and whenever the transaction reached at the lock point, after that we can release the lock during the sinking phase. If we are using two-phase locking protocol to generate any schedule, so prior information is not required. Prior information is not required. In the absence of information concerning the manner in which data items are accessed, we can generate our schedule. But if we wish to develop protocol that are not two-phase, we need additional information on how each transaction will access the database. So prior information about the transaction, what kinds of or what types of data items that particular schedule, that particular transaction will access, that information we need to have when we are not we do not want to use two-phase locking protocol. So if we do not want to use two-phase locking protocol and we want to generate our schedule without using two-phase locking protocol, but locking we will use, we want to use locking but we do not want to use two-phase locking protocol. So what are the options with us? The simplest model which we will that requires prior knowledge about the order in which the database items will be accessed. That means if we are using graph based protocol where we will not use the two-phase locking protocol principle, but still locking concept will be there, but here we should have a prior knowledge about the order in which the database item will be accessed. Given such information, it is possible to construct locking protocol that are not two-phase but ensure conflict serializability. So we will have graph-based protocol to generate our schedule, and that schedule will be conflict serializable, right? So we will see how this particular schedule which is generated by graph-based protocol conflict serializable. So if we see the basic things about graph-based protocol, to require such prior knowledge means the knowledge which we should have, that is what we impose a partial ordering on the set D, which is D1, D2 up to DH. These are all items. If we have DI to DJ, means there are two data items and there is a direct link between DI to DJ, then any transaction accessing both DI and DJ must access DI before accessing DJ. So if we find in this particular set, if we find there is a direct edge between any two data items like DI and DJ, so what we will have, we will allow DI before DJ. We will allow our transaction to use DI before DJ. This partial ordering may be the result of either the logical or the physical organization of the data, or it may be imposed solely for the purpose of the concurrency control. So there may be why we are using this partial ordering. That is maybe for a logical organization, means the kind of data structure we are using, or a physical organization which is related to some memory related things, or it may be imposed solely for the purpose of the concurrency control, right? So here remember, we will use partial ordering that will be on the set of data items, and we will try to find if there is a direct edge between one data item to another one. In this particular example, where the particular thing is shown, if we have direct age between di and dj, then any transaction accessing both di and dj must access di before accessing the dj. So the partial ordering implies that the set D may be viewed as a direct acyclic graph, which is called database graph. So if we want to apply the partial ordering strategy, so we will see all the data items in acyclic graph. So what is direct cyclic graph? Where we have no cycle, so that is what it is, a cyclic graph, and we also called as database graph. So for sake of simplicity, we will restrict our attention to only those graphs that are rooted trees. So we will present a simple protocol called tree protocol here. Means within this graph based protocol, we will present simple protocol, that is what, tree protocol, which is restricted to employ only exclusive lock. So if we represent our all data items in the form of tree, then we will only apply exclusive locks here. Okay, we will only apply exclusive lock here, right? Remember this point, we will only apply exclusive, and our data items will look like this diagram. This is what acyclic directed graph, which is called database graph. Okay, so whenever we need to apply, whenever we need to use graph based protocol and we are trying to generate our schedule with the help of graph based protocol, we are not using two-phase locking strategy, but still we will use what? We will use the locking strategy. We are not using two-phase. Okay, without using two-phase, we are using locking strategy and we are trying to build our schedule. So only exclusive locks will be applied here. So more means there are many protocols through which we can generate or we can develop the schedule. Okay, so as far as the tree protocol is concerned, in the tree protocol, the only lock restriction allowed is lock X, that means exclusive lock. Okay, so whenever a particular transaction wants to do read or write operation, or only read operation, or only write operation, it has to apply the exclusive lock only. There is no concept of just look at this particular diagram while I am some rules regarding this tree protocol. Each transaction Ti means if there is a transaction Ti, and if Ti wants to use a particular or a set of data items, so Ti can lock a data item at most once. Okay, so here what we will have, Ti can lock a data item at most once and must observe the following rule. So means we have to follow these rules. The rule number 1 is what? The first lock by Ti may be on any data items. So here in our acyclic directed graph, database graph, Ti may want to apply a lock. Ti may be on any data item. Ti may impose lock on any data item. Ti may hold data lock on any data item which is available in the directed acyclic graph. Okay, so it may be A, B, C or F, D, E, G, H, I, any data item. Ti is free to hold lock on data item available in this database graph. Okay, the rule number 2, subsequently a data item Q, any data item Q can be logged by Ti. Any data item can be logged by Ti only if the parent of Q is currently logged by Ti. Okay, so remember, this is the interesting point. If a particular transaction is having lock on a parent, then any of its children can be locked by TI. This is the second rule. So if remember, so look at the figure which is given here. If we have D node or D data item, if a particular transaction is holding lock on D, then it has capability to lock its children D and H. This is what the second rule is all about. So what is third rule? Third rule is a data item may be unlocked anytime if a particular transaction is holding a lock on a set of data items, and that particular lock can be released, can be unlocked at any time. Okay, so rule number 4, a data item that has been locked and unlocked by TI cannot subsequently be relocked by TI. If TI has been logged and unlocked on a particular data item, so it cannot hold lock once again on those data items. So a data item that has been logged and unlocked by TI cannot subsequently be relocked by TI. So all the schedules that are legal under the tree protocol are conflict serializable. So whenever we use this tree protocol, so all the schedules which are generated with the help of this tree protocol will be conflict serializable. So all the schedules that are legal under the tree protocol, that means all the schedules which are following the properties or the rules of the tree protocol, are conflict serializable. Okay, let me repeat this tree protocol rules. Suppose we have a database graph which is directed acyclic graph, and if we want to generate schedule with the help of tree protocol, so we have to follow these 3 rules. Rule number 1, the first lock by TI may be on any data item. That means TI can hold lock on any data item which is available on this database graph, right? So the point is that what is the rule number 1? Rule number 1 ये है कि TI जो ट्रांजेक्शन है वो एक पर्टिकुलर डेटा आइटम को यूज़ करना चाहता है. सो वो डेटा आइटम कोई भी हो सकता है. वो डेटा आइटम इस पर्टिकुलर डेटाबेस ग्राफ में कोई भी हो सकता है. ये ज़रूरी नहीं है. इट इज़ नॉट नेसेसरी कि इट शुड ऑलवेज बी अ रूटेड नोड. इट मे बी एनी नोड विच इज़ अवेलेबल इन